Be honest, who hasn't had the dream? Not just owning a fast car, the other one. Helmet on, belts tight, the world narrowing to one job.
Racing, it's life.
That line is true because on the road, speed is basically just risk and randomness. On the track, and especially in real racing, that changes. It becomes focus, responsibility, presence, reward.
Life.
This 900 horsepower 992 is ultra fast and basically exists to drive to the track, learn what the road can't teach, braking, vision, tires, and what you do under pressure, and then drive it home.
Track days are the loophole to modern ultra-fast cars. But the upgrade is obvious. Real racing. Today, I'm walking you through 15 race cars for sale across eras, types, marques, prices, and not least possibilities to illustrate some very different paths to more meaning in your speed life. Buckle up, we are going racing.
This video is brought to you by Selected Car Investment, where we buy and sell only the best collectible cars. Check our website to see if your next car happens to be in stock, or contact us for off-market cars, or if you want help to find your next investment.
So today, I'm taking you to DC Workshop, also part of the Selected Car Group, the part that takes care of everything track-related. Inside, we'll meet Mikkel, who was deeply involved in the development of this STG Cup 900 car, but today will guide us towards the next level up from this one. Let's have a look. Hi Mikkel.
Hello Claus, welcome to our workshop.
Thank you. And what a lovely thing you made for me. The Cup 900 car on which you were a technician.
Yeah.
It seems to be the answer to every question. But what could possibly top the STG Cup 900 car?
A proper racing car, like this Porsche for example.
Which is a historical Porsche, I would say. To me, 996 is a modern car, but well...
It's a historic race car.
It's now a historic race car.
By our standards, yes.
Time flies.
Yeah.
So how would this car differ in the driving experience to the Cup car?
This car is more raw. It's an H-pattern gearbox. It's NA, so naturally aspirated. Yeah, it's just an old raw car. It's a Cup car. There's no driver aids at all. No ABS, no traction, nothing.
And then there's the really obvious difference that you can actually use this car to race against other cars of similar or different kind of cars.
Yeah. For example, there are historic classes where these participate in now.
If some people thought this is too old a car for me, but I still would like to race a Porsche GT3, do you have other possibilities?
Of course they did. So first, Mikkel led me to the newer 997 Cup car, which he described as being not only faster, but due to its sequential gearbox also easier to drive. Porsche called that progress. And then its successor, the 991 Cup, continued that, adding anti-lock brakes to the cocktail of even better suspension and more power too. Both the newer Cup cars are almost virginal in their white paint and can act as blank canvases for your preferred racing livery too. On all accounts, just pick and choose.
There's something behind you that has an even more evocative sound, I would say.
Yeah, the V10.
A scream, Italian scream.
Yeah.
And this is a mainstay of what DC Workshop actually does.
We have a arrive and drive system where we maintain the cars, we do all the track support setup and everything on track also, and here in the workshop in off-season.
And of course we're based in Denmark. We have a championship where these cars are eligible and actually won the last 2 years, as I recall it. But they can also run internationally. Yeah. And you have plans for that in 26?
We have. We will compete with 2 cars in the Supertrofeo, Lamborghini's own series, in the European series,
And well,
all of the Lamborghinis here today are for sale, as all the cars are.
Yeah.
But one in particular would be suited for fielding in that series, wouldn't it?
Yes, this car is what the current car is in Supertrofeo. So yes, this would be eligible for competition right now.
And the DC Workshop team is all set up to field 2 cars.
Yeah.
But I guess it could be 3, right?
It could be.
Is there a possibility to upgrade the older car, non-Evo car?
Yeah, it is possible. This is actually an Evo, and this is an Evo 2.
Yeah.
But the Evo car is also eligible for upgrade to an Evo 2 setting, yeah.
Yeah.
The main difference between these two cars are, of course, the visual, the aero kit, and then the brake systems.
Yeah.
The brake system is the main upgrade, apart from what is visually available.
You talked us through the Porsches, but this is quite another level again, right?
Yeah,
How do you compare?
This is more like a modern GT3 car. There are more driver aids, there's both traction control, ABS, fully adjustable on the steering wheel, like a modern GT3 car.
So even though they are faster still than all of the Porsches, are they more difficult to drive? Or?
Not necessarily. These are actually very easy cars to drive for what it is. It's still a very raw racing car, but it's a bit easier than the Porsches to drive fast.
We're talking 600 and something horsepower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And only rear-wheel drive, of course.
Yes, of course. But again, with driver aids, it's relatively easy to control.
You have 3 of them for sale, so yeah, be my guest. There might be a brand that actually upstages Lamborghini, and if you are dreaming of racing, you will eventually arrive at something like the Ferrari.
This is a 488 challenge car with the Evo package, of course.
Yeah.
It's a V8 twin turbo car, double clutch gearbox, so very, very easy car to drive for a gentleman driver.
And how does the speed compare to the Lamborghini?
I will say that the braking and the cornering, the Lamborghini is faster. On the straights, this car is much faster because it's just got lots of power.
Yeah, and lots more torque because of the turbo engine. Yeah.
Exactly. And the drivability, it's easier. You got a much broader power band, so it's easier to get right. The Lamborghini needs to be on a very specific RPM to make its power. This one just got power all the way from 3,000 RPM and upwards.
And funnily enough, we know when you're racing, there's only one thing that counts. That's the result and the actual speed.
Yeah.
But from my experience, we see customers actually also choosing cars because of looks.
Yeah. And you can't deny it's a beautiful car.
Exactly what I was going to say. And being in a much better finish than the Lamborghini, it seems more like a gentleman car.
Yeah,
right?
it definitely is, yeah.
All the aforementioned cars carry not unsubstantial price tags, but you can join the club on a lesser ticket. The 944 was set below the 911 in the Porsche family, and actually not used that much for racing in period. Which doesn't mean that it can't today. Handling of the front-engined transaxle 944 is famously great, and so is reliability, and the badge is still Porsche. If you like the front-engine rear-wheel drive layout and will sacrifice the badge for more power, then consider this Ginetta. With its 3.7-litre Ford V6 engine, the G55 is not only lighter, but more powerful too. And while predictable and fun as well, it's also much faster. Some of you probably do want a bit of badge though. So how about a proper silver arrow?
We have the Mercedes AMG GT4,
Yeah.
which is eligible for GT4 series, of course.
And GT4 compared to GT3, how is that?
Price-wise, we are much lower for the entire season budget, and you still got a lot of grip racing. You have less aero, so it's less aero-dependent car, and of course it's made to become a cheaper series than the GT3 series.
And you know I love a good engine sound.
Yeah, this one's got a nice engine. Yeah,
I've heard
proper
it. Yeah.
V8 engine. Yeah,
Yeah, V8 engine, and again a lot of horsepower.
yeah, lots of torque, lots of horsepower. Yeah,
Yeah.
and very much a GT3 feel. Also in the cockpit, it's more or less like the GT3 car inside.
Which is quite serious.
It's a serious racing car, yeah.
You want something more sensible, you say? Maybe a touring car or two? Well, it's your lucky day, as Mikkel happened to have this TCR race car and its sister car out back as well. The pair between them won the 2 Danish championship titles and are ready for more. Wherever you want to race, basically, as the TCR series even has a European championship. Buying both cars together could even make you a team owner. What a lovely dream.
If you are dreaming of going racing or have been dreaming of going racing, maybe you have at some point considered the big international races, and it doesn't get much bigger than Le Mans. And that seems like an impossible dream, actually.
Yeah. But it's not.
No, this car proves that it is not. And I'm not talking about the modern Le Mans, where this car would of course not be eligible, but there's a thing as the Le Mans Classic. And this is a car for that. This actual car has taken part, driven by Klaus Ludwig, who was a period race car driver and winner of the DTM. We come from all the modern Porsches and into this. What would you say about the driving experience in a car like this?
This is very, very raw and old school. You got old school turbo car, lots of turbo lag, with all the quirks and technicalities that you had back in the day. So it's very hard to drive these cars fast.
Yeah.
You need really to learn how to handle the car, and of course the engine, because power band is something that is very narrow and explosive.
Yeah.
It's why they call the street cars widowmakers.
I would actually expect the race cars to be somewhat less widowmakers. They were so successful in period, the 934s. With a car like this, you could actually also go proper night racing at the Le Mans Classic.
Yeah.
Another experience in itself. But there's one more level to it, I guess.
The highest level.
What every little boy has dreamt of at some point.
Formula One.
And it seems so out of reach.
Yeah.
But again,
it is possible.
It is possible. This is a historic Formula One car from 1980. How would you describe this experience?
It's difficult to describe, because this is everything compressed into a very small package. Lightweight, lots of power from the Cosworth engine. The noise is amazing. It's difficult to describe because it is such a race car.
I guess it could be described as strapping a Cosworth engine to your back.
Yeah.
And then setting off. It is by far the lightest car here.
Yeah,
we are
by far, yeah.
Under 600 kilos. And the Cosworth develops close to 500 horsepower or something like that. Every time we fire it up, people come running saying, what's happening?
Yeah.
There is a race series for this, the FIA Masters Historic Championship. So if you have this Formula One dream, might even be dreaming of becoming a world champion, it is
possible.
It is possible. There is a championship for these cars.
Yeah.
And you can take them to all the big tracks, Silverstone, Spa, even Monaco.
Yeah.
I guess the Formula One car rounds it all off at a very high level. All of the cars are for sale. You will find all the details in the description below the video. Thank you for talking us through the cars, Mikkel, and best of luck for the season 26.
Thank you, and thank you for coming today.
So this rounds off our array of race cars for sale. Any one of these will let you discover for yourself if McQueen was right when he spoke those famous words. When you're racing, it's life. And from there, decide whether you want to live that life. If you like this video, hit the like button and consider subscribing as well. Then we'll see you for the next one.